They don't, the answer
They
is not
did
good.
not care.
All right, let's, it's 6:40, let's open the meeting at 6:40.
Okay.
First on our agenda is, we got meeting minutes. That is in everybody's packet. I did get that done. But unfortunately, it's not the first one because I can't organize paper correctly. So if you look back, there is a July 14th and July 28th meeting minutes. And I will take this packet and scan it as PDF and try to get them to put it up on the website. So at least we get caught up. So I will ask if there's any additions or deletions on July 14th. I didn't have any when I went through this.
It looked fine.
I'll take a motion to accept.
So moved.
Need a second?
Second.
All right. Any discussion? I'll let you type before you move on. Okay, take a vote. Aye.
Aye.
3-0. Approved. All right, let's go to July 28th, sorry. That was when Janet was here. There's the number. Couldn't remember if it was 3,000 or 4,000. I was talking to Heather. Any comments, changes, additions, deletions? Come on in.
Hey, knock, knock. This works. No one else is gonna show up. Plenty of
Who
room.
knows? We already had other people.
Grab an agenda, and there's some of the packet. That'll keep this one for. I'll keep it. Keith, if you get a chance, I think the meeting minutes are at the front of that. Maybe not. I'm not a good clerk.
Oh, okay.
They're approving those.
I
They're
suck
gonna vote
as-
on those right now.
I am not a good admin.
You already did the 28th, you're doing the 14th.
Nope, we did the
Did the
14th.
14th.
Oh,
We're on the 28th.
Sorry.
hold on, I got those two.
They're backwards, I know.
Oh,
It's
no,
just the way the
thought I
printer gets
heard-
excited.
I thought I heard,
Yeah, there's a bunch
I've
in
got
there.
a copy, and what you don't, you find them.
Sure.
You keep shuffling if you want.
Here's the 28th right here.
I already had it. And I already went through that.
Okay.
I'm aware.
All right, any changes, comments? Just need a motion if there is none.
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? If none, take a vote.
Aye.
All right, 4-0. That's done. It's not on the agenda, but I wanted, since we do get mail, we'll put that on the next one, just because this isn't anything we have to worry affecting. It's just Holden and the state sending us mail. Holden's wanted us to know about a hearing, record of vote, notice of filing with the town clerk. They're got an application from Brew Wind Realty for special permits, redevelopment of 2 buildings for restaurant, fast food, and bank uses at 945 Main Street in Salisbury. You don't know where that is, that's the old oil fixing, oil quick lube.
Sunnyside Fast Lane.
Yep. And then Holden Zoning Board of Appeals want us to indicate that there's a, at 72 Broad Street, there's a special permit to construct an addition on a pre-existing non-conforming lot Those are the two from Holden. Oh, you know what? There you go, I'll let you do that. And then, we got the illustrious state email, or state letter. It is letting us know that there's an order of notice for an energy facility siting board on August 3rd. It has to do with the OCAM facility. So it just make everybody aware, and since this is on tape at Rutland, that on August 3rd, 2026, that's the order of notice, that there'll be a meeting for certification of environmental impact and interest. The important dates are Tuesday, September 8th. Anybody that wants to see this, I guess Lauren will try to find a way to get this scanned in. That's mail. We're going to add that to our agenda for next time to put just mail in there. Yeah.
Before we leave, I can scan.
Okay, perfect.
We know.
Okay, number one on new old business, 61A conversion request. I said last time we'd talk about it, so in what I considered a packet, you got an email on July, or a letter from the town office of the town administrator that they're requesting that there's a notice to intent to sell Chapter 61A land, Lot 1, Glenwood. The planning board is asked to review the submitted plan prepared by New England Environmental Design, LLC, which received an ANR endorsement on June 23rd, 2026. Evaluate the configuration against an R60 district bylaws, which we did, because otherwise we wouldn't pass it as an ANR. And identifying a potential impact on municipal infrastructure or growth. And in the past, we've been asked to give a letter back to the planning board, or to the select board, if the planning board would like to show any interest in that property of converting it out. So I'll take discussion. It's 2.3 acres.
Yeah. Reading here, did the Conservation Commission write a letter?
Don't know.
Do we get their letters?
Everything goes to the select board.
I watched their meeting on Monday, and I didn't hear anything about it.
Officially, and I'm not saying this is how it has been done, but in the past, we've typically received a letter or an email from the select board asking our opinion on the 61A land if the planning board shows any interest, and then we would typically discuss it and then take a vote, interest, no interest, and then send a letter to the select board indicating that the planning board has interest or no interest in that property. I haven't seen anything to that effect right now,
Okay.
but I don't mind if this board wants to be proactive and send a letter to the select board indicating we have interest or no interest in the 2.33 acres.
You can go around the room, I guess. Right?
Yeah.
Is that what- Yep, okay. I wish the town would buy every piece of property that comes up. You know, it's next to a farm, which I guess would be mixed commercial, if you will. So he's running a business out there, but, and it's close to 68. What we would use it for, I don't know, what we would use a piece of property like that for, and it's in pre-development too, with all the trees there, so I can see it a long process to bring it to whatever could happen. You know, it's, I guess what it is.
John?
I mean, I understand the town has limited resources right now, as you're stating. I mean, I've been thinking a lot about this. And I guess in short, it's a beautiful property. I shop at that farm a lot. I would, I guess, thinking forward, I would like to keep it farm or open space, because I would see 100 houses there in 15 years. So I think this could be our opportunity to curb that, or at least start having an opinion on that.
Warren?
Everybody knows that I agree with you. I wish we could buy every 61A. I've been incredibly disappointed in the past at some decisions, but it's a very small parcel that is not in a particularly public location, not that that necessarily matters, but I can't think that it makes sense for the town to invest money to be honest with you. It makes me sad to say that, but yeah.
I have to agree with you, because I think there's gonna be bigger fish to fry coming up with other farms coming up on the list. And honestly, 2.3 acres doesn't make a lot of, it's next to impossible to get a fire station on. It's not located where we need it. There's no public, that's what I'm looking for, buildings that we could put there. And the town already has a lot of property on 68 that it owns. And I hate to quote Mike Sullivan, but the town shouldn't really be in the business of managing properties unless they're gonna have a use for it, or they're saving it, like Mr. Williams always said, there's always saving large properties for the future for something that could be used.
Yes.
But I don't think in this case, 2.3,
If we were talking that whole parcel.
if we were talking 60 or 40 acres, that's a whole different party.
That's like, what, 57 or something?
Yeah.
I think it said something like 50 acres.
Yeah, so that's my opinion. I don't think it, my thought process, we'd send something to select board indicating that that planning board doesn't see an interest. That's me. I don't want to say it was speak for the board, but that's what I would be voting for.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, I'm kind of in the same boat. I wish I could hit the lottery and give the town all the money. We could buy all the 61A. But, you know, just like all of us, we have finite resources in this town, and if it were a bigger parcel, I'd be interested, but I don't particularly have any interest in the town owning small parcels here and there. I'd much rather the town save its ammo and try and expend it at one target that's much larger.
That'll be coming up, I think.
I'm aware. So yeah, I would vote, unfortunately, I mean, with a heavy heart, I would vote to pass.
I'll take, since I'm going to be proactive and get a letter to the select board, it says there is 160 or 180 days. Since 120? Thanks. 3 months, that's right, or 4 months.
And it's already been like a month.
Yeah.
Since that letter.
Let's just be proactive and send the select board I'll take a motion either to show interest or not show interest.
I'll make a motion to show no interest in a letter to the select board.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Any discussion? I'll take a vote.
Aye.
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 Or nothing. We'll use your notes as what I have to write to the select board. Thanks. All right, so we'll consider that done. We'll get that to the select board, and that'll take it off our agenda for the 61A. Yep.
I have a lot of stuff on the agenda, but it's kind of spread out.
Well, I just want to get through one more.
No, but I don't care, I'm not trying to move in front of anybody, but if
I
we
wanna do
start,
yours
once
all
we
the
start,
same.
yeah, do them all at the
No,
same
I
time, that's
already
all
planned on that.
a request, please.
So 61A is done. Master plan, I think we have the update from last week. Heather's getting a contract from CMRPC. They're gonna proceed with getting the A&R, I'm sorry, the open space, what's the word I'm looking folded into the master plan. We're just looking for, I need to get from Janet a date of when we'll have a, I don't know what you want to call it, a date, first pass. And then I need to talk with her about also getting the updated copy of the master plan, because I don't think outside of Dick and I, and Dick's not here anymore, no one else has seen the updated version. I don't think, because I don't think it's sat for the last 2.5, 3 years waiting to be finished. And that's before Lauren, I think you were an associate and on, and Alex, you hadn't come on yet.
Sounds right.
You were just getting ready to be an
Yeah,
associate.
I don't think I've seen it.
All right,
It's
so
been here for a year.
I think we looked at it.
we looked at it.
Put on the holding.
And then Dick and I spent countless weeks in here with John trying to get it refined.
Yeah.
But after that, they refined it, but nothing ever came back to us.
Oh, we haven't seen their copy.
Yes, that's what I want.
Okay.
ANRs, we have none.
It was pretty great.
What's that?
I might have more knowledge of that
That's
than.
true.
That's
the
true,
rest
that's
of
right,
the
we
board.
were on there.
Yeah.
Yes.
Just give us verbatim, just from the top.
Yeah.
It's,
All 10,000 pages.
it's the greatest master plan you've ever seen. That's all you need to know. Supermarket. That's what it says. in the master plan.
Yeah.
On every page, supermarket.
Yeah. And no more building.
Right. No
Those
more
are the two
building and
keys.
supermarket.
Yeah. Active subdivision reports,
Those.
Kevin didn't have any for us, so we'll pass on that. Okay, Clee, I'm gonna try to get through a couple things quick. In your packet, Mary Singas has asked to come to work for us as an admin. I put a resume in there, take a look at it. Heather,
Can I borrow one?
Cheers.
My whole big package.
it's yours. She asked the board to talk about it, and she was supposed to be here tonight, but I'm not sure if she got the dates mixed up, because I saw an email from Heather indicating August 12th, which is tomorrow. Maybe she comes to the Bylaw Subcommittee meeting.
Do we have any idea what this lady lives?
I don't think she put a address.
I just wasn't sure if it was somebody from the town that was looking up, because they look to have quite a bit of
Do you have page one of the
Yeah.
experience.
Is that page two of the resume?
Shocking. Oh, right here.
I give you?
They work for Moffray as a vice president of claims operations. That's-
Yeah.
Yeah, she has a.
I think she's got more
than.
than I think she's looking for, from what Heather was saying, just a little part-time job on the side. You can keep that one, keep it. Me personally, I get her here as fast as we
Yep.
can.
That's not
Yeah.
good.
So I guess, take a motion from somebody on the board to, suggest to the town administrator to hire her ASAP.
Motion to send an email to Heather, town administrator, for Mary Sinkus.
Make her an offer.
Yeah, make her an offer.
Make her
See
an
what
offer. She
happens.
can't refuse.
But the town can afford it. It's delicate, delicate.
She is a vice president of claims operations. It could be just
How are you negotiating?
here.
Yeah. Do I have a second?
Second.
Got a motion and a second, any more discussion? Oh, let me see that again.
Might be tough to negotiate with claims.
Well, we've already set the expectations, so,
No, I'm kidding, I'm just joking.
excellent. No discussion, take a vote? Aye?
Aye.
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 All right, I'll get that out to Heather, that out to Heather. We will keep news. Okay, wait, you've got a short one, and then
That's fine.
the rest is all you.
I don't wanna jump in front of anyone, I
No,
just
no.
wanna take them all together, that's it.
This is all you after him. Okay. Paul,
Yes.
step up to the plate. Um, I've got your letter, your email, which I think everybody's got the email. And then in the back, there's, Paul attached 2 pieces of paper that indicate the Ben, when he pulled the certificate in, but there's no updated document, which in 20 days, something should have been returned to us having that, so I don't know where that is. Oh.
Is this a property that you want to work on?
Wants to put a house on it, if I'm not mistaken.
I had a building permit and I would build a house there.
I just don't, I'm trying to refresh my memory.
So this was, Jim Susi had made this, estate lot with this special permit, 23 miles away. And so I guess this is the big issue. I just have, people that I lend money from, and their attorney, is looking at this special permit. The first condition on the special permit says the estate lot shall be constructed in conformance with and shown on the site plan, the title proposed site plan, located in Millbrook Road, aka Oswald, dated June 30th, 2023, prepared by New England Environmental Design LLC. So, here's that.
I read that and I was struggling with what your banking or financial attorney, because that says estate lot, it doesn't say house. It doesn't say
I know,
building.
I know. Their reading is so literally that they go, this has to be built just like this plan, which is what they're thinking about is it has to be this rectangle. It's showing a proposed placement, but this rectangle doesn't even show, aside from you taking a scale, it doesn't show any dimensions or anything.
The other thing is that estate lot, the special permit is just for an estate lot, it's not for a house going on. The house just has to be set back so far on the estate lot. You could put that house in the back of the estate lot if you so choose by our bylaw. That's why I'm struggling with.
You can make it a circle, not a rectangle. If
Yeah,
you really wanted to have a good time with it.
So that's the only thing is I have changed the footprint of the house that's going here, but the placement is exactly in the same place as where this one was proposed.
Is it not in front of that setback on the property? Because there's a set line.
No, it's an exact same position, that house, it's just a different footprint of a house. So instead of this rectangle, it's this L-shaped house.
But the front of the house is the same setback from the front of the property line as what's there now?
I mean, it's very, very close, but I mean, we're talking about, it opens at 200 at this point,
Yeah.
and we're, how much are we gonna get? 300 feet away from that?
This isn't even a planning board issue, it's a zoning. It's
Well,
a
that's,
zoning issue.
yeah, see, that's what I was gonna
If
get
you've got
at.
a building permit, your lawyer's full of shit.
It's not my lawyer, it's the
Bank's lawyer.
people I borrow money from.
Yeah.
What I need to do, and I've looked this over, what you sent me for a letter, before we write anything, I gotta talk to KP, because I and the board can't issue an email without going through our attorney, because we put the town at egress. That's the one thing I did find out between the last meeting and this one. not egress, we'll be in a bad situation if we.
Deep
issue-
yogurt.
Yeah, deep yogurt, so, and I need to find out, to Clee's point, what we can say.
I mean, I guess the other thing too is this first condition on this,
It says a lot, it doesn't say how, that's a struggle I'm having.
I know.
Is that whoever the attorney is just doesn't seem,
oh, I understand that, and like my lawyer that dealing with it, they can't believe that these people are doing this. But I mean,
Okay.
this first line, is it also possible to get this amended to say the new, to build it to the new plan that I had a,
see, our,
this is what I used to get the building permit.
yeah, but our bylaw for estate lots, all we talk about is a building has to be set back so much from where the entrance comes in. It has to basically have I think it's 100 feet. I'd have to look, I
200
know.
feet after.
200 feet
the
after.
end of the
So,
driveway.
that's all we say, and once, and you could build that
You
at
go
that
further.
lot, or you could build it, 1,000 feet back if you've got it. So that's why I need to find out what we can say from our attorney, and I'll put that on, I've got first get permission from the town administrator that I can talk to our attorney, and then find out what do we need to say. And then the next question, at Clee's point, do I need to get the zoning board involved in this, the ZBA, to send a letter?
You said you had a building permit?
Yeah. I know,
It's over.
I know.
If he's got a building permit,
Well,
there's no issues.
So,
But-
so
But
did
the-
the,
his
did the
They
lender
won't
is
finance
having an
it.
issue.
Yeah, they won't
So
finance it.
I know,
that becomes a problem.
So, I mean, I used this plot plan to get a building permit,
Yeah,
and it was approved. Now, I know things aren't great here in Rutland lately, but the secretary of the
Lynn, yep.
building, so she, I just was talking to her, and she kind of told me, I go, planning board signed off on this on the building permit.
No, we don't sign off on building permits.
But if you look at my list of stuff that's been signed off on, planning board has signed off on it.
Oh,
And
you
she-
mean in that,
In the thing,
Yeah.
Conscom has to
Like
sign up,
portal.
planning board has to
Oh.
sign up.
Everyone has to sign
Everybody
off.
has
when
to
you
sign
sign off on that, because we haven't had a planner in, I don't know how many years.
But so what she told me is that previous meeting was kind of looking at these things and signing off as.
Okay, that's fine.
I know.
I'm not getting in the middle of that one.
Yeah, so that's maybe like a weird kind of situation
Yeah.
that happened. But,
Let me ask, I
So-
gotta ask a few questions.
yeah, that's all right. I guess here's the thing too is, if we're reading that first condition and it says, and this is, planning board that put that condition in, it says,
What's it?
constructed in conformance with, the one dated June 30th, 2023. Well, what if this now gets changed and says it's the one dated
March 19th,
You just say that he's
yeah,
met.
March 13th, 2026?
You just send an email that says he met. Condition one's been satisfied. It's
Yeah,
over.
I just need to talk to KP and get that, but I wouldn't have a problem issuing you, wouldn't issue attorney unless KP wants to do that for us. Issue an email indicating that based upon this plan, that you've met condition one. I don't think we can reference that because that wasn't part of the special permit. You can't reference your building permit because we don't have any authority over that.
Yeah.
But saying that this,
Complies with the bylaw, he was supposed to present that at not an estate lot, well, yeah, special permit. So you're looking for dimensions of the road, you needed reclamation, and we
I
got a
don't know.
building line, right?
because your
Now it's- it's
banking attorney's questioning that building permit versus the special permit drawing, I presume.
I mean, I guess they're not questioning that I got a building permit. They're just, I mean, I find find it hard to believe, but how they're reading this is, it needs to be built exactly like this plan. But that's not exactly what this means, but that's how they're reading.
I just need KP to give me some verbiage saying that that first condition indicates that you will follow the building dimensions of a building on an estate lot. That's it. However you build it, wherever you build it, that's up to the building commissioner to give you that building permit.
Yeah.
And they look at the bylaw, see that you've got a 200-foot setback, and as long as the building's beyond that, and it conforms to the building permit, and it's not really us to deal with, so. I know what you need to do, I just need to talk to KP and ask what we need to do, how we can help you out.
Without getting you, well, two lawyers getting mad at us.
Yes, can you, the one thing I was gonna ask is, your attorney, because I don't think KP wants to deal with the bank attorney, they want to deal with your attorney. Can you email me their information?
Yeah, Norm Peters.
Okay, if you could email me that, I can get that to KP and let them start communicating. Because me and you trying to come up with what needs to be done, I'd rather have attorneys do it. Okay, good enough. Paul, sorry for the confusion, because to Clee's point, I don't see this as being an issue. I gotta tell you, I've never heard of this before. As long as you're set back from 200, that order of condition is a boilerplate. We put them in every special permit for the state law we do. And I can't say we've done hundreds, but we've done 20 or 30 of them. Never had one issue. So this is the first. Okay. Give me that info and I will take it from there.
Okay, you did get my email.
I do have your email address. You could just send me an email with your attorneys. I will get permission from Heather to contact KP and get that rolling, and I'll CC you on the stuff I sent to KP. Perfect, thanks.
All right, thank you.
I think that's it. Now, yes.
Let's just sneak out.
Let me get back to where my.
All right, thank you, sir.
I'll just say number 6 is off the table because we couldn't have a meeting, so we can check 6 off. Let's start out with the subdivision bond reductions and bond reports. Kevin so graciously got them to me all this morning.
When are we supposed to get those? Like before a meeting? A couple days before? I mean, we gotta have time to go through them.
Yeah,
Is there some sort of a
There's no
timetable
policy.
there? No?
none.
Each item on here, he just said, he just goes and looks at the property.
I'm not supposed to
Okay.
influence that.
Okay.
And the way it's always been done, in every town I work in, is I don't get involved in the planning board, just goes by what the engineer says it's gonna cost.
Yes.
And by the way, I looked at him and I agree with him.
So you don't have any issues with the,
No.
I was gonna take Hilltop first off.
No issues. I looked at it, he's right on the money.
Do we want to, since,
This is a different issue, this email, the UCO thing?
put that aside, we'll get to that. I was putting that, because it wasn't on our agenda, but I put it in the packet. Question I've got, since we got these today, at least for Hilltop, since it's a new CERTI, do we want to look at it and put it on the agenda for next meeting to vote on it and bless it? So I gotta tell you, I haven't had a chance to look at it. I literally got it this morning.
Well, that's the issue, is that like I'd be saying yay or nay to something I haven't really been able to dive into.
I don't know that, that's gonna be part of the tri-party agreement. That's what that's for. The only reason I need the surety is so that I can do the tri-party. So I think that's when I bring that tri-party to you, is when you say,
So he's just giving it to us as information at this point, because you
Yeah,
got, because you asked for it and it was required to move forward.
it's required to put it, I have to put that as part of the tri-party agreement, the way KP Law had me do Device 4 is they only recorded the release from covenant. They didn't record the tri-party.
Okay.
So that was different than I've seen. The reason for the tri-party obviously is to get release from covenant, so I can get building permits.
Do we want to look this over and release it so Mr. Blair can work on his tri-party for next meeting, or do we want to make a decision tonight?
I'd rather have a little time to look through this. I mean, it came through, 11 o'clock, and the other one was like 2 something. I saw them
Yeah.
at like 4:30, 5 o'clock when I picked up my personal.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna be honest, I didn't have a chance to even review these.
You know, I get it, I
was hoping Kevin was gonna get it to us last week, but,
well, I get it, I mean, my point is like, he's the expert. You know, he's telling you what it is. I don't know what changes you could make, but it's, you know, what change, like, just curiosity, what change would you make? Do you know what it costs to
let
put
me
a
do a
top
quick
coat?
look.
Do you know what it costs to put a top coat on a property, how much a ton?
Well, I can call somebody.
Yeah, you can, but I mean, as Kevin does,
I know.
he's the one who did it. Moment seed, I think he's real high on his number, but okay.
I'm gonna ask the student person question, but it's okay, I'm okay with it. You know, obviously, there's a lot here that isn't filled out, I'm not saying everything here should have a price to it, but the idea is this is only to reduce the road work, when we look at Hilltop, is that,
If there's nothing next to it, that means it's been completed.
okay,
So what happens is
so you're done with that block work?
right, so the point of this is, the town can't issue a building permit until I've either posted a bond, put up the money, posted a tri-party, in order for the town to have money if I get hit by a bus.
Yes.
So this is what Kevin's saying, it would cost the town
To finish the
finish the
job.
road
Yeah.
if I get hit by a bus. Hopefully that doesn't happen.
Because there's no surety for the structures, it's only the infrastructure.
That's right, and what, this is part of the, we make that part of the tri-party agreement. I wanna have George do the tri-party agreement, that's when you need, that's when you vote on this, not afterwards. I mean, if you think there's a change to be made.
Well, we could, this is my comment to the board, we could send Clea off to get the tri-party agreement, and when the tri-party comes in, if we want to modify that number on the tri-party, I'm saying if we we could do that as part of a back and forth negotiation.
Oh, yeah, it's just, you write it in, you write in the number.
I'm fine with at least getting that tri-party started, and then we have time to review this, and if we come up with questions, we ask Kevin. And then when the tri-party comes in, if there's any ups or downs, I'm not gonna really do. If there's any ups, then we modify that tri-party agreement so such after discussing it with Mr. Blair. The rest of the board, what do you think?
Sure.
Okay.
Sorry,
That's your easy.
not to be, but yes, I agree.
My small comment, this is considered unfinished
Discussion
road.
with Kevin.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I
That's
trust
what
you.
created
that's
this.
what it would
You
cost to
created the
finish the
values.
road, if I did.
We have questions about
So
the
like
numbers,
the E1
questions, Dan.
I'm asking him to come in for the tri-party discussion.
Yes, but that's already.
I mean,
So that wouldn't be
as
on
long as
here,
I'm not
it's already-
okaying these numbers
No.
and things, just because like, Clea's a point, I don't know how much this stuff costs, but I also don't know, you know, how a computer works, but I know, you know, I might wanna try out the phone first and make, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't wanna just sign this without having.
Well, that's why I
at least
said we
gone through
won't
it.
sign it until the tri-party, and
Okay.
that's when the numbers
Yeah.
are.
Yeah, and literally, it's a word program, right? So 149,000 goes in there. If it's different, they just take that all out and put 154,000. I mean, it's just, so, when the tri-party comes in, it's just a number.
When do you expect to have that tri-party
Oh,
done?
I'll talk to George, I'll have it into you by next week, so you can read it over.
And
It's
then,
gotta go to KP Law anyway.
yeah, and that's
So-
2-3 weeks minimum.
Let's hope not, but yeah.
So what I was gonna suggest to the board is when that tri-party comes in with this document, we have Kevin in here, so we've got the guy who did the numbers. And if any questions come up from us, we've got Kevin here to answer them, and if there's numbers that need to be changed, it can be redlined on that tri-party agreement and move forward.
We could just change the number, yeah, if
Yeah.
you wanna change, but this isn't gonna, really, the planning board doesn't have to sign off on this.
We gotta sign off on the tri-party, which has the number in it.
You have to sign, actually, you sign the tri-party.
Yes.
As a planning board.
I don't have an issue with that, at least for Hilltop. So is the board okay with sending Mr. Blair off to get that done?
Why Hilltop in particular?
I think it
Because that's the
applies
only
all.
one that's asked for a
No, they're
CERTI
fine.
budget.
Okay.
Bear Farm Drive as
Oh,
well.
I didn't have, okay, I thought that he had.
I have,
Hold on a second. Oh, I do, I'm sorry, I do.
they're both in the same spot.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I'll have George do the tri-party. If you guys don't like the number,
States 1 and 2,
just I'll change the number.
No,
But I doubt you'll
Farm.
find anything wrong with it. I looked through it,
Bear Farm.
and I used to yell at Kyle, all the time.
His letter says
He was
Blair
always
Farm.
doing
I know it says Blair Farm, but those are these Bear Farms.
I was like, I don't think I've heard of that before.
Which is Brittenell Estates 3, that's a
Oh, so
budgetary one
that's the
too.
same thing as
Yes.
Brittenell Estates 3?
Yeah,
Did you add one here?
It's Quail
I haven't
Run,
heard of 3.
That's Bear Farm.
it's Quail Run, Brittenell States, Phase 2.
Yes.
these are all budgets that have to have tri-party, if I'm not mistaken.
Those, yes.
He hasn't sent us the reductions yet.
They're right here.
Did I miss those?
This is Brittenell Estates Phase 1. Here's Quail Run, Brittenell Estates Phase 2.
I've got that one.
And this is Brittenell Estates Phase 3, which it says Bear Farm, but you know what I'm talking about. There we go.
Oh, okay, got them, I got these, send them back.
Okay.
But you need the tri-party for Bear Hill Farm and Hilltop.
Bear Farm Drive.
Yes, the other two are reductions, correct, okay, that's what I thought.
That we do need to vote on.
Yeah, and I'm gonna have to put that off to the next one, because I haven't had a chance to look at it.
That's all
But
right.
the other two, I have no problem sending you out, getting sureties, and I'm gonna ask Kevin in for the next meeting, because I really, I'm not the expert on this, and I just need him there as a backup.
What's the date of it?
Next meeting is
25.
25th. All right, I'm gonna, is the day before school starts? Oh,
I
boy.
can't believe it's only Tuesday. I thought it was like Thursday or something. I was like, you gotta be kidding me.
I wish
It's
it
a
was
long
Friday.
week.
I feel like it's Friday.
I told one of my clients it was Wednesday, and they go, no,
Okay,
no,
so
no,
any of the
sir.
reductions we are
We're
putting
not
off,
gonna,
so
yeah,
we can
because
review.
I'm not,
Great.
I need everybody to look those over, which
Yep.
is,
Which
which is estate, Brittenell Estates 1 and 2 are reductions. Brittenell, Bear Hill Farm, Brittenell 3, and Hilltop are actually budgets for
Okay.
tri-party agreements. Let me get back to. Need to make a note, Kevin, to appear before board. That sounds like obvious. And I will let him know that his presence is asked on August 25th.
I guess the only thing on the reduction ones that would be nice, it's not there, is just the previous against.
How much it's being reduced, like
Yeah,
what it was.
we can see that this is a reduction document, but it doesn't show what our previous numbers were. That's.
You have those.
We do have them on file.
If you
they're
don't,
just
I'll
not-
send them.
Yeah, and they're just not,
It'd just be nice to have it right
you
there.
know, like an extra one of the, this is what's coming along.
You ask?
Did he say it in the letter? He might have said it.
No. What I'll do is I'll ask Kevin if he can put another column in there, just
Yeah.
existing and then, yeah,
Previous.
yeah. Or if you could send the previous document, just because,
Yeah, well,
we're in a
obviously.
transition.
Yeah, we know it's zeroed out. I guess it's just, you know, at the end, it's like, the bond is worth, you know, $129,000, it's just, I guess it's nice to know what we're returning to the developer.
That's why I'd like Kevin to say, listen, the reason these are zeroed out because this is done, and these aren't done, so we're holding on to this money until it's complete.
Yeah.
That's what I need him to tell us, because I haven't had a chance to look at it, so I can't even
Yeah.
ask those questions yet.
And could be other reductions prior to this, in the last one.
Well, no, that whole list is basically could have been the entire bond
Yeah.
amount, and some may have not been used, or it may not have been part of the original bond, or some of them could be zeroed out.
No, what he did was he went in and looked at work that I completed since his last inspection, when he reduced the bond. And I'm gonna say a lot of it was loam and seed. He had a monster number of loam and seed.
Well, my question, Clea, is, which I'm gonna ask Kevin, is every line item on there had a dollar value at one time, or was some of them zeroed out?
They all come in like this, because usually we don't
It's
put
a
a bond
template?
on until, yeah, so, but we don't put a bond on until after base coat. So all of the, all the utilities are in, and then once you get the base coat, so usually it's sidewalks, trees, bounds, as-built,
Okay.
top coat, curbing, that kind of stuff, and that's what's on,
Okay, I'll talk with Kevin, get more information.
Yeah, this is pretty simple, really.
So that takes care of number 5, and I've got a note in here, ask Kevin to come to the next board meeting on August 25th for potential discussion and support. Like I said, 6, we don't have any reports. I will, since everybody basically here, except you're still invited, for the Bylaw Subcommittee. Gabe just, again, this afternoon, emailed me the updates with questions. Did not have a chance to send it out to the committee. I will tonight when I get home.
That meeting's tomorrow. Yes?
Yes. Yes, so, I asked him, he said he sent it to me a week ago, and I went back through my emails and didn't see it, so. That's why I called him today, wondering where it was. So, I'll forward that out. In fact, before I leave, I'll do that. That way I know I don't go home and get something to do. All right, so we're on to number 7. This is the tree minor modification to Rittenhouse Estates, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
To 2 per lot as opposed to 1 every 150.
Every 50.
Every 50 feet. Thank you.
When we talked, I think we said there's 34 lots, or
So that'd be 68 trees. My reason for moving that forward is, I know you've got already some people in there.
On which road?
In Brittenell Estates,
Quail Run?
all the above, this is a minor modification of the subdivision in totality, if I'm not mistaken,
yes, that's what I asked.
right? Is,
Does that include replacing the dead trees along Grizzly?
You know something? That's what happens when you plant them too soon. People don't take care of it. But
No,
it doesn't, but I guess I have to.
I guess this is me and my negotiating is, I know you're building houses there and people, some of them are in. I'd like to see if we would give you, and again, this is just me, everybody else can talk to, is if we're gonna give you the 2 per lot, is they go in now.
We're already in. On
Okay.
Quail Run, since we've had this discussion, I've done all the lawns that I closed on the houses for last winter. And I
There's
put
2 trees?
And I put the trees in all the way down.
Okay,
Trees are done on that road.
Every 50 feet or 2 per lot?
No, they're 2 per lot.
yeah,
Right
so
now.
that's the reason why I was
But
saying.
we hadn't approved that yet, have we?
No.
So we went and did it without our approval?
Because I was closed on the house.
Just wanted to be correct.
And I did.
That is a correct statement.
Okay, good to know.
So say the street name again.
It's Quail Run.
Well, thank you.
So that was what I thought was what the wishes were, to have me put them in when I did the landscape. So I did that. And they're pretty much every 50 feet, if you look at them, it's close. Might have to add a few trees, but tell me where to put them, because I don't know.
I would prefer, yes, I agree with you, Alex, that we hadn't given any authority to do that. I don't disagree with you on that. But what I would like to see is there's still a lot of houses to be built there. 12, okay.
14.
Out of 38?
34.
34, so that's a third.
14 out of 34, yep.
Is the rest of them that the trees go in and before, like the new subdivision regs are coming out, that the trees and landscaping, or the trees with the landscaping we put in before you close on the house?
That's what I did on this. Well, I had already closed because it was in the winter.
Correct.
When I did the landscaping, I put the trees in.
I'd like to see that on the rest of them, even though by the bylaw, we don't, or by the subdivision, that's what I'm looking for, conditions, the conditions, you're not required to do that. That's why the minor modification I'd like to do is change that to 2 trees per lot, to be, I hate to use the word installed, that's sort of what I'm gonna do. Planted, thank you.
There we go, yeah.
I'm an engineer, everything gets installed. Installed, planted
Tie 'em in.
before
Don't forget to
closing on the house. Or, it's better to say occupancy permit, I'm presuming. What's the board think? That's my thoughts, I'll shut up and let everybody else talk. Before I finish that, the only reason I say that is because we're going to be, within 2 months, that'll be the rule of the law of the land, if it passes with our new subdivision regs. And I understand that that's not what was agreed upon when we did that. But in the past, and I'm not saying that's the way things should have been, but in the past, that's what basically was put in most of the subdivisions throughout Rutland. And in some cases, not Mr. Blair, but other developers put nothing in and put them in the center of a road and called that trees. I prefer what we're trying to do now and put 2 in per lot. And I like them when they're behind the sidewalk right there, still in the right of way, because the sidewalk is at the end of the right of way, but in the right of way. And anyhow, that's it. Thank everybody else. Alex?
Do we know what kind of trees were planted?
Whatever the planning board approved. I think there's a list that we can choose from.
Correct.
And then we've been, we did that probably on one subdivision. We went over that with the DPW director at the time. And we've just been using the same tree all along.
Right.
The big thing was the caliper. The bigger the caliper, you gotta dig a hole this big, so, we dig a smaller caliper. And by the way, we put the trees on the lot, we don't put them in the right of way.
Correct.
Because they come up through the sidewalk, the roots come up through the sidewalk. Remember that one of Lenny's subdivisions, it ruined the
It
sidewalk.
was the other side of that.
Yeah, and so the trees are kind of a enigma,
Well, that's why I liked when I drove Grizzly and saw those trees, that 2 per lot that were 4 or 5 feet behind the sidewalk, and they'd all grown to a decent size by now, because they've been in for probably 6, 7 years.
Yeah, well,
And,
3 or 4. And so the ones that, I don't know how many died. In fact, my landscaper called me today and said, hey, you want me to replace those? I said, yeah.
If you would do that, I don't have a problem, but I gotta let the rest of the board keep talking, so. Speak up, just jump in, don't be shy.
So you guys looking, we're all, thank you guys. I know, we hadn't come up with anything finalized, but I know, Alex, you were hinting to wanting to stay at the 50 feet
Yeah.
in the end. This, as far as what is at least work that's been pre-done, just doesn't go beyond people's lots, it doesn't go into open space, which is the only thing that's missing. But I guess that's part of what the reduction in trees was to designate trees directly onto someone's lot. I guess not as much into open space. I don't know how much open space is really seen on this area.
Well,
At least it hits
subdivision
a little bit of
conditions
the marks.
don't require trees in the open space.
Okay.
There's no trees, if you put it only on lots is where the conditions from the subdivision.
Yeah, I guess it's that
Every 50 feet.
that crunch of every 50 feet of roadway versus actually on the line. So I mean, in a way, it sort of jumps what we were trying to get to, or at least to doesn't go too far away. What you guys were looking for at the time we last talked. And that's all that's footage.
I'd say I'm fine with 2 trees per lot as long as, like, I think about larger frontage. Maybe thinking about what the what the bylaws could get changed to, that it's minimum 2 trees per lot based on frontage, because I could see a nice scenario where like 200 feet of frontage could have 3 trees and look really nice. So, but I think in this scenario, if some other trees are getting replaced, I think that's fine. I would investigate and maybe start recommending trees that aren't damaging the road. You know, I think we had a list last month
Yeah, I mean, not
of like
every,
4
not every tree is
trees.
gonna have roots that
4
come
trees
up
that
into
root
sidewalks.
shallow-
In fact,
shallow
most
roots, some trees.
roads.
Right. So like, but that's, you know, that's I think there are certainly alternatives that we can bake into the bylaws at some point. But I think for the purpose of this, putting this discussion to bed, I'm not a voter, but I'm okay with the 2 trees.
What are the frontages for houses in this? I mean, I'm not familiar with the entire,
125.
so
Yeah.
125, they're all 125?
Actually, some of them are flag lots, so those are 50. They flag, they look like a flag.
Yeah.
Those are still gonna get 2 trees?
In fact, at Lindsay Lane, one of the guys called me and said, hey, I didn't get any trees, so I gave him 2 trees. But because he had a flag lot.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, there's no room for it.
I'm fine with 2 trees on the lot, even if they go, if the customer wants them at the front of each side of his driveway, I'm fine with that.
You have
I tell you, the customers, a good portion of the customers don't want the trees out.
That's why I want to get them in before they get a choice.
Before they're customers.
And if they take them down, that's not your responsibility, and we don't have to have a fight with the select board, because they were put in and blessed before the property was occupied.
I do have a question about people cutting them down. So if you're putting them not in the right of way, if they were in the right of way and the homeowner cuts them down, is that,
They have to go to tree line.
I would
Okay.
prefer they're in the right way.
then I would prefer them in the right of way too.
Right.
Because then they're protected in a way that they're
Right.
not if they're on lots, like on the,
In this
not in the
case,
right of way. I mean, I don't think it's all a lot, but.
in this case, everybody who has trees on their lot approved. Because we had to ask if we could put them on their lot. And we do. And in Bryce Estates, there was quite a number of people who, in fact, one of them come up here yelling at me, or yelling at Heather. And so the point of this is, when we get to street acceptance, Kevin Quinn's gonna go out and he's gonna say, you gotta add 40 trees. I'm
Oh,
trying to
okay.
avoid
Right.
that, so if there's a number of trees that you guys want, you figure it out, but let's do it now so that I'm not scrambling at the end of the process to do it. I asked at the last meeting if we could look at Bear Hill. Bear Hill is 2 trees per lot, they're grown in, it looks nice, it's tree good, but, you know, I've had subdivisions that I built 20 years ago, I mean, the trees are this big in the front yard that we planted, and they block, they block everything. I mean, it just, to me, you don't need that many trees. I just think it's boring. And if you want them in the right of way, I'll put them in the right of way. And you're right, there are trees that the roots won't come up. I don't know what they are, but I'm not a tree guy, but.
Well, I know that the list that we had passed around,
Yep.
those were indicated to me that none of them were to be done. The ones that we added or suggested.
The only reason I like them set back on the other side of the sidewalk, it protects them from A, snow plows, and B, being buried in snow and dying.
Is
From
the
salt?
snowplow going up and over the sidewalk?
No, but it's
They plow the
salt
sidewalk.
and,
They plow the side.
They don't plow those sidewalks, not anymore. And I think they plowed one strip and they made everyone else do the rest because they don't have the funding to fund the plow.
Supposed
We
to.
bought the plow.
In the
but we
past,
can't run the plow.
they've always done the sidewalks.
I don't know, that's just,
Nice.
I've never been a
How far
fan of,
beyond the sidewalk does the right of way go?
that's what I was gonna ask, I don't know. I have to look at the
So
drawings,
that's
but
Yeah.
usually it's a couple feet because the sidewalk is,
The roads, depending on, if it's cul-de-sac, it's 22 feet wide, the easement is always 50. So the 22 goes through the middle and then, so on either side. So the grass strip in the, next to the curbing is usually 3 feet and then a 5-foot sidewalk and then whatever's left is part of it.
1 or 2 feet it's been in the past.
Yeah, it's been.
And that's
so
where the trees have usually been put, is that 1 or 2 foot area.
Okay, so there's not very much space
No.
beyond the sidewalk.
Not
No.
beyond, not on the other side of the sidewalk, there isn't. That's why we put them on the lots. And we get approval from the customers first. You know, but, and a lot of them don't like them. But if we do it, as Tim suggested, prior to closing and they're there,
Oh, yeah, that
and
part of
then,
it.
you know, it's part of our shrubbery, you know? we-
Right, it's part of what you get
And
at the house.
and it says in the PNS, they're agreed to be alive when planted.
Alive.
They're agreed to be alive when
That's
planted.
nice.
I should hope so.
I don't know. Hey, Alex, you're up, you're the last one.
I'm really over the whole beg for forgiveness instead of ask for permission. I've played nice quite a bit and it's gotten us nowhere. I think we had the 50 foot for a reason. That's what was agreed to originally, and that's what I want to stick to.
There's 2 trees in the per lot anyhow, so,
Might be,
well, it is, because it's 125 feet.
You can't put,
but every 50 feet would end up putting more trees than 2 per lot.
is that what the original, is that
Every
what the
50
original
feet.
bylaws are? Every 50 feet
Subdivision
of road,
regs.
not lot. It's not bylaw.
It's road,
It's
yeah.
road. That's,
So it's really 2.5 trees.
I haven't heard that. I haven't heard that.
Not that you will plant more than 2 per lot, it just generates a higher number of trees.
Like I said, what we did at Bryce Estates looks terrible. There's trees planted everywhere. Because,
Oh, we're talking about the trees?
yeah, that's what.
So the question that we need to
Oh, we're talking about.
address is whether we're giving a minor modification and what that would
Yes.
be for Brittenell Estates, not what our bylaws will say in the future.
Right. Right.
Okay. So
That's how
you indicated that you put in 2 trees per lot on Quill Run Drive, but and to be honest, I'm just not familiar with all the different roads up there. There's still quite a bit where there are not trees, I'm assuming, because there's still a lot of stuff going on.
A third.
12 houses to be
We
built.
haven't even built them. I mean,
Okay.
anything that we've built, I'm pretty sure has trees in it.
But there's a lot that hasn't been built yet.
There's 14 houses that have it.
33% is, 33, 35% hasn't been built yet.
Okay, so, and those do not have trees in them,
Correct.
presumably. Okay.
So if it's okay in the future, why isn't it okay now? I'm not, and I am
No,
asking for, by the way, I am asking for permission, I'm not begging for forgiveness. I don't
We already
care.
put them in.
Yeah, because that's always the way it's been, Alex. We always
Yeah.
put 2 trees per lot, and this, I put the ones on Grizzly Drive a long time ago. Quail Run, I did 2 trees per lot, because that's the way it's always been done. And I thought, because the bylaws are changing, I thought that was what was gonna be okay to do here.
Is there roadway that is not somebody's lot? Like, is there, I'm just.
Yes, but there's arches, arch culverts, so it's wetlands.
Okay.
Can't
So
put
you
trees
can't
there.
put trees there, so, and they show them, I'm pretty sure they show them there. Now, there is a spot that when it turns into Quail Run, you could put a few trees there, and they probably would look nice. But after that, when it gets past down towards where Johnny Boyle used to live, in that area there, there's really not, it's not places to put trees, because it's all wetland and wetland crossing. So it's not, it doesn't make sense. I think, like I said, the idea is to have a tree line road, not to have everything be trees. It's
Yeah.
just too many.
And I will say, there is like an artistic value to having trees on that road. I think if you start at the beginning and go 50, boop, 50, boop, trees aren't like aesthetically planted in a way that, like, the house, it frames the house, say.
Yeah.
Like, so, if you take 125 times, we're probably we're probably talking about a tree difference of like 6 to 8 trees, maybe. Like in this scenario, I don't know, it's like seeing it, talking about it from the beginning, I like think if you started from the beginning, somebody's gonna have, I think the tree might be in an odd spot. If they get planted in the lot, like that frame, in a way that frames the house, I mean,
I
we've
just
talked
like
about this
grizzly.
so much.
I know, I just like grizzly when I walked down, when I drove through it, because there were like 2 trees, they were sort of spaced at the front of the property. They've grown up, they haven't grown, you know, like,
Yeah,
it looked nice in the property. And when you get farther back into the, I'll call it the Lenny area, it was nothing. I mean, you
Right.
had grass and hills. It just
Yeah.
didn't look good. And then I couldn't figure out where the trees were until I drove at the front and saw them all planted. I was like,
Yeah.
that's how that happened.
all put together in a
Yeah.
separate, in a.
Dying in some cases, yeah.
Does the new bylaw have language around larger frontage lots or roadway that is not
That would have to be
someone's
changed.
lot?
You know,
Because my inclination would be to do a minor modification to bring this into compliance with what the bylaws are going to say, but I would like that language to be in bylaws that says, you know, if you have more than X frontage, then you need to have more tree, you know what I mean? Like,
I'm with
to
you.
have that in there, as well as roadway that is not a lot where you are allowed to put a tree, because it's not wetlands or whatever, to maybe have that at the 50 feet that we had previously.
it's gonna be a tough one. I don't disagree with you, but the frontage for, what's the word I'm looking for, open space is set right now, that's not gonna change, unless we change it.
Okay.
But then you'd have to go back and modify the subdivision regs anyhow. Because if you changed the frontage for an open space, say to a minimum of 200 feet,
Okay.
then we could go back and look and say, well, then it maybe needs 3 trees instead of 2. But that would be going back when you have to go back and modify the subdivision regs because of frontage changes.
That's a zone change. That has to go to the town. That's a town road.
Well, I'm not suggesting we change frontage sizes, I'm saying that if, so you're telling me that, okay, clearly I'm not familiar, I'm
With
still
this.
relatively new.
Yep.
But can you, how variable are frontages within subdivisions according to our rules?
Depending on if it's a open space,
150 or
or there's an open space, and then there's the standard design, which is basically 150-foot frontage, and,
Acre and a half.
yeah,
Acre and a half.
yeah. And
Okay.
then, so
And then the open space one is what?
reduced to 125, if I remember.
125 on the
That's what
front.
this
So
one
two.
is.
Yeah.
But the lots go
But
15.
we haven't had in my 21 years, I haven't had a traditional subdivision come through this town yet. It's all been open space.
Would they ever be more than that?
You know,
They're always exactly either 150 or 125.
no, you could have
Because some of
a,
them are smaller based on flag lots, is
Yeah.
what we said earlier.
yeah,
And that's 50 feet, and estate lots are 50 feet.
correct. But those
And they have
typically
to have
aren't
width
subdivision.
back.
Right, so they might not even get a tree.
But they would not be bigger.
At
They would
this-
not have
Well,
more frontage.
let's see that you end up in a situation where you're coming around a corner like this, right?
Yeah.
On a corner lot, in some towns, you have to have 125 feet on each side of the road. Like, this road has to have 125, I don't know what our
We
regs
don't
are,
have that.
but, you know, some towns do. So it all depends on what it is, but you can end up, however they space them out, you can end up with more frontage. You can. We try to keep the frontage because we don't want to build as much road, so the frontage is a big deal. And on a curve, as long as you're 125 feet at the building line,
Correct.
so you
You're set back.
get less frontage, but you can go like this, so you know, so
Do a
some lots
trapezoid.
have less frontage, yeah, so it's so variable that
Julian's
it's
done
hard
that.
for me
Yeah,
to say.
so I guess my point is that 2 trees per lot makes sense, but could there not be language in there that says if there is more than X frontage on a lot, you need to put more trees?
If there's
Like,
That
I'm
more,
could come up, that could
like,
come
I'm
up
not-
tomorrow and
Yeah.
add it. I'm good with that.
That's what I'm saying, I'm not suggesting we change any of the, you know, I'm just saying like, I want to,
Oh, come on.
I want to require more trees
Right,
if there's more space
yes.
for it.
Well, and that's what I was saying earlier, I agree with you 100%.
Thank you.
For 125-foot frontage,
Two makes sense to me.
minimum two. But like when it's a larger lot every 50 feet. Like if it's a 150-foot lot,
Yeah.
that's 3 trees.
Yeah.
We
Or-
will discuss that tomorrow.
And they don't have to
because-
be in 50.
Right.
It has to be
Well, you guys
3
are talking
if you
about
have
even.
at least 3 times 50
I'm,
feet.
I am.
But I wanna get through this with minor modification.
I got 2 comments.
I want
I
to just
just
make
don't-
one
Sure,
comment.
yeah, you don't
Don't
wanna-
forget, in that frontage is a driveway. So that takes away 12
Yeah.
feet of the frontage.
So I'm just.
Yeah, no, I'm
I
I'm
think
just
what
trying-
Lauren and I said, we don't wanna get into a situation in the future where there's like this gorgeous frontage with just like two little trees sitting there, like, I think aesthetically, I think having them spaced out and having more would be good. I think in this instance,
You know,
I think 2 is like, I'm good with 2 in this instance, I mean, but you know.
You could write the regulation so that it says, you know, the amount of trees is determined at the time of the subdivision approval. And that way you can look at where you have, if you have a bigger lot, you can say this lot needs 3 trees. It's better than trying to say every 50 feet, because that's.
That was the thought process 25 years ago, almost
Yeah.
30 years ago.
It's just aesthetically, it doesn't look.
And not just, as part of the developers in Rutland, where there were many more than Mr. Blair at the time, Mr. Elbag, Mr. Susi, what's my other guy?
Lenny?
George. Yeah, George and
Lucy.
Lenny had, in my 21 years, all of them had taken exception to the 50 feet. It's before my time, I don't know.
It's just in the regs.
It was in the subdivision regs that were put in.
You gotta do it, you know what I mean?
The person I would look to if he was sitting here was Norman Dick.
Yeah.
Because they'd be the only one around here that could answer that question, because the regs that I'm used to is what I came into, which was 50 feet. And I was used to every subdivision that we did, it was a waiver on every one of them. That was typically asked, along with the cul-de-sac, the street lights, and there were a couple other ones that were always waivers. And I, as in your suit, being here a year or two, I was like, why are they there? Why don't we just take them out? Well, I was the same way when I was,
Yeah.
I looked at the team, which was Addison Redfield, Norm Dick, and God rest his soul, Lester, Grace, and said, I know I'm the young kid here, but why the hell do we have these rules if we're not gonna abide by them? And the answer was, we need to change them, and it never happened. So now's the time to do it.
So for this minor modification, I would propose that we, whatever the right language is, but we approve a minor modification to have 2 trees per lot planted prior to occupancy permit for Brittenell Estates.
The only thing is, if I close in the winter, I can't. So prior to landscaping, with the landscaping, I
Yeah, but it doesn't have to be right before occupancy permits, it just has to happen before that. So whenever the landscape
Well,
is.
you get your OP when you landscape, like I got OPs on Quail Run and I just landscape.
So
They've been
people,
living
they're
there for 6
moving in
months.
the winter, but they're getting no landscaping until the spring.
Now, when we did the landscaping, we put the trees in. So
They were living there before the occupancy permit?
No, they were
No,
living there for
trees.
They
landscaping.
lived there
You said
before
they-
They had-
landscaping.
You can't live there before an
So
OP.
in that
That's why I was like,
situation,
huh?
if you then come to do landscaping, you say, I'm putting these trees in, and they say, I don't want them, then what?
It's part of the,
It's part of the,
I
it's
just
part of
say
the
it's part of the
agreement?
I say it's part of the subdivision control, yeah.
Okay.
These people down Quail Run didn't say it.
Didn't fund.
Yeah.
Didn't say it.
But, okay,
But
so.
you're gonna have that situation, you can't.
I got 2 comments before motion. Just gonna be ahead. The 50, so I'm just gonna bring up the 50 feet thing. I'm okay with the 2 per lot. I'm wondering how you get such high tree count numbers. Is it both sides of the road that are counted for 50 feet, not the center line of the road?
Both sides of the
Okay,
road.
so that's where it's getting crazy. Let's do that. And then, just your comment, 2 per lot. The cul-de-sac, those houses, and I'll just give you trivia. It had a open space design, how many houses are usually on the end of the cul-de-sac? Let's see, 5. Let's see. What do you usually have?
It varies, but it could be, you know,
Because I know the turnarounds of fixed size, we've always agreed to being at 150 foot, just the place.
Some of the cul-de-sacs, so if they got a lot of property behind them, I've seen them become estate lots where they've got a
Yeah,
50
I'm
foot
just saying
pattern.
that, like you said, the building envelope's past the road measurement. You know, so you gotta,
it's at the building line, right?
So like with the two per lot, you're not really gonna be able to get twos. They're gonna be like,
Yeah, but that,
boom, 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 all the way around that circle, and then it's gonna go back to the normal, like, all these are spaced out. So I can see, so at some point, maybe in that circumference of the,
good point.
not the cul-de-sac,
It's
where's the
a
cul-de-sac, the
yeah.
turnaround?
It's a cul-de-sac.
So that's, so if I'm using the right term. Yeah, I could just see it being kind of funky there, like you said, if there's conditions, it's like, if it becomes shrunken down, you're probably gonna go to 1 per lot, but it's gonna have to go to 2 per lot. Just a comment, it's just a comment, I guess, to get it out there.
We got them on Quail Run, we got all,
You
And I
got 2 per
think,
lot.
I mean, I think in that circumstance, we could also entertain the idea of a modification that says, look, we realize it's gonna be ridiculous to try to put 2 on a, you know, and for that
Even 50
circumstance,
feet,
yeah.
Okay.
The only other
Those are my
thing,
comments.
Clea, that I'd ask is when, what you've got in, and what you're gonna put in, Kevin's made aware of it, and can get it into his report. Because we need that documentation when we get to the point of actually looking for street acceptance. Because I'm not going through what we went through last year, ever again. So I want that documentation, and of course, I'm gonna be a pain in the ass, but when the as-bills come in, I'd like to see the trees on the as-bills.
okay.
That's it. So if there's 2 trees where they're at, I want them on the as-bills. So to your point, Lauren, if somebody wants to come in and look and say, hey, there's 2 trees there and they've been cut down, the next step is to talk to the DPW, who is the tree ward, and say, I think you need to check this out.
Right, assuming they were in the right way.
Yes. Well, the thought process was is that they can be put into the right of way on the other side, make it possible. If not, I mean, if you got a slope like this, you don't want to put a tree on a slope. But again, Grizzly, I can't say enough how Grizzly looks good compared to that rest of that subdivision that was done by another developer, I'll just say that.
I agree.
So,
One extra comment, the sidewalk's only on one side of the street, so it's.
correct, so the other side can be within there.
I could put them in the right way then.
It's
Yeah.
gonna have a different.
I would prefer, I guess, is, my comment is on the side of the street that there's no sidewalk. Set them back at, 3 or 4 feet from the curb, but put them in the right of way. Because then to your point, Lauren, they ain't cutting them down without talking to
Yeah.
DPW director.
And I know I don't do the bylaw subcommittee, but I would suggest saying that they need to be in the right of way as a rule, and if they can't be, then we can talk about modifications.
There's a
I would
condition.
rather have the conditions, be what we want, and then think about,
Because that's not in there right now.
Special
I can
circumstances.
tell you for a fact that that's not in there.
so.
Well, good, we're having a
I'll
meeting.
just
tomorrow
add
night.
my notes before
No.
the meeting, and then I'll have to go.
Killing me.
Zoom
Killing
in.
me.
Yeah.
Can't do, I
Help
can't
us
do
out.
tonight.
All right, everybody has them in their email now from what Gabe sent, so I got that out of the way.
Okay.
So I need a motion if we're going to go or no go for the minor modification.
I'm trying to think of words. So I would move to, what's the right word here?
Make a minor modification.
Just make, okay.
Yes.
Make a minor modification, to change the condition to 2 trees per lot for Brittenell Estates.
Preferably in the right of way.
Oh, I want to say preferably because like, I want to say in the right of way.
I'll tell you,
Why couldn't they be?
none of them are right now. They're all on sidewalk.
Well, yeah, you don't wanna lock that in.
So I don't wanna be taking them all up and
It's just for this, it's not a global.
Yeah,
thing,
no,
so-
I know,
so you
but as
are-
Alex says, and you know, we wanna put on record, like, I hate being like, well, we've already done it, so it is what it is. Like, that sucks, because that shouldn't be how it works. But sometimes it is how it works. But there are still some to be planted.
Oh, yeah, wait a minute.
Then I would say the ones that haven't been planted yet need to be in the right of way.
That's easy to put in the modification, you just put a minor modification, the existing trees still stay where they're at, and then, any new trees that'll be planted with unbuilt houses shall be within the right of way.
I don't know if you wanna put a number in there, but,
Well, 2 per lot,
okay, so it's,
I think you said that, didn't you?
Yeah,
These people live in
yeah,
those.
I'll write it properly, but, so it's 2 trees per lot, ones that are in, stay where they are. Any unplanted as of today, in right of way.
Do I have a second?
second.
Got a motion and a second, any more discussion?
I will say that I think the idea that 50 feet, every tree every 50 feet is too much is ludicrous. That's a tree at the other end of that hallway and probably a little further than that. So I think 50 feet is adequate, and I push back, and I think I've heard other people echo this, that when the 3 amigos come in, when I get George, Julian, and Clee coming in and saying, this is how it's always been done, this is how it's going to be done. If you've always been breaking the law, change the law. If it's the rule that's wrong, change the rule. Follow the law. And apparently we can't do that.
Well, in the past, we've given waivers. I'm not arguing with you, I'm just saying in the past, there've been waivers. In this subdivision, there weren't any waivers, there wasn't a request for a waiver.
It's just always been 2 per lot, it's never been any different. Why would I think that I would be doing anything wrong? I don't. It's just
Because the
always
waivers
been
have been
Rules
given.
and regs.
It's not, well, I just wanna, just so I'm clear. It hasn't always been 2 per lot, I think, is what I'm hearing. It's always been every 50 feet.
It's
No.
always been every
No.
50 feet written,
Written,
But
but
in
never
practice-
executed.
No, that's what I mean,
Yeah.
that's what I mean.
yes.
It hasn't, so Clea, I hear what you're saying. It's always been 2 per lot, because that's what everyone's just done whatever we wanna do in this town. What's
Not
written
true.
is every 50 feet.
No, not true. That's not 100% true,
Okay.
because a lot of times with the subdivision conditions, there's been asked for waivers, like I wonder.
If there was a waiver.
Correct,
I
yeah.
understand, I hear
Yeah.
you, I hear you.
Yeah,
I'm not arguing about it, and I'm not like scolding, I'm just saying, it's only been done, it's only always been done if there isn't a waiver, because that's what we've always done.
correct.
It's not what is written, it's not how the bylaws were written, is
The
what I'm saying.
regulations.
The
that's one thing.
sorry,
Yeah,
the regulations.
yeah, the
Okay.
regs, because the bylaws, if we do a bylaw, like Clea said, we have to go to the town
Yeah.
for that, but the regs
Right.
can be a hearing and can move forward.
I think that's your opportunity, my opportunity, if I'm ever a voting member of this board, that, like, we address in the future what, like, we start thinking about, like, holding people more accountable
And
for
I
what's
think,
written,
and I
you
think
know, or
that,
rewrite things, you know?
John, I think that's the biggest thing that we did, is that those subdivision regs hadn't been touched
Yeah,
in 18 years, which to me is ridiculous, because laws and regulations have changed inside of 18 years.
right.
So I think this board and the bylaw subcommittee's made a huge effort to move forward.
Yeah,
And there's no reason they shouldn't be reviewed every 2 years
Right.
to see what's going on. That hasn't happened in the past.
I'm
We need to make a better effort to do that moving forward.
all about moving forward. I think there's been a lot of like, this has happened before, this is in the past. I'm all about it. I think we can all move forward in a more cooperative way, and I think part of that is like just taking a breath sometimes and not like before we tear something down or plant trees or things like that. I think it's about moving forward as a team, you know, for what's best for the town.
If I could just say one thing, you know, I never did anything without permission. I mean, I always came to the board and got permission. And they had to approve it to get the streets accepted.
What about the recent planting?
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Where you just put the trees in on Quail Run without permission?
No, it's always been
Even by
per law.
But that doesn't,
That
just
was the
because it's
wishes.
been that way doesn't mean you actually have permission at the moment to do something that is outside of what is written in the conditions.
Yes.
I
You
understand
guys are
what you're
changing the
saying.
regs. I mean, I didn't think I was doing anything out of the ordinary. I put them in before the house, or before, while I did the landscaping.
My most important thing, has anybody ripped those trees down that you put in? Then I'm happy, because we got trees in lots, because if you look over at Bear Hill, Bryce Lemon, you've got houses all over there that have no trees. It looks horrendous, if you want my personal opinion. I've driven it a couple times. I prefer what we have now, going from Grizzly into Brittenell Estates, where we've got a good look.
Yeah.
I think it accentuates the town. I think it's a good thing. I get it, Clea, there is some, I somewhat agree with Alex and Lauren, there's a little bit of, it is what it is, I know we've done in the past. I guess moving forward, and I'll let Norm take over when he steps back in the role, but gotta get you, if something like this has happened, just give the board an email, like, this is what I'm doing.
Well, I'm not gonna, I don't break the rules. I mean,
Yeah, well, this-
trees are
get
something
it.
that's never, ever been even discussed. I mean, challenged or anything.
Yeah.
It's, and in the past, the planning board has said to me, if the people don't want the trees, then don't give them to them. I've literally had a guy come up with a gun one day. 'Cause was
I know.
on the
We've
spot.
heard.
You know, so I mean, the point is that you can't, so it might be, I'm doing something that I maybe isn't according to the regulations, but it's according to the way it's always been done.
I get it.
And
I
I'm
can't-
not like,
I get it.
it's not like I'm trying to, I'm just gonna do what I want. I don't do that. It's not, I
get
don't
it.
get away with it.
I just,
Right, but if
I need
you
it
wanna
documented.
do something that is different from what's in the conditions, the modification should come first.
Absolutely, I agree with you. Trees
Okay.
have never been that way.
Not what happened here, but that's
Trees
how it
have
will be
never
in the
been-
future.
It's never been that way
yeah,
with trees.
I guess to Lauren's point, that's what we gotta do. Everything, if something came up like the grates, if the grates had to be changed from granite to,
Grates aren't granite, they're steel, but.
And I'm not-
you
I
know,
don't mean granite, the
Granite
berms.
curb inlets, yeah.
Curbing, yeah.
Yeah. I'm
Um,
asking now. I mean, I would just go by what the
Yeah.
DPW director said before.
any more discussion?
My short,
this-
yeah, no, wait, what I say, this is gonna be trouble.
Drunk
Yeah, say
Yeah,
it.
so,
Go ahead, Mr. Williams.
no, the, the road acceptance is what you want, what the people that live on these streets want. We're on the planning board, we're part of the subdivision development, we're getting reports being formed every month, for years on certain projects. We're never personally, ourselves, aren't gonna say, I wouldn't allow that road to get accepted. The people who are looking at us, they're looking at all the fine print that we sort of run by,
Yeah.
and they're scrutinizing, not that we haven't been,
They want us to
in
follow
the
the rules.
totality
Yeah.
to be watching this project, it's just, these are, you know, it may be a new, lens, and it gets, I wouldn't say it gets everyone upset, but when these streets come to a halt at their final moment, you see how two parties react to the town, it sort of comes back to us. It's not that we've never paid attention to the project, we're not meant to keep, things up to a standard that we would never say is below the planning board or the town of Rutland. It's just we've got other people looking at it, and it's a hard, all of a sudden, it's like, oh, well, you didn't, and so it's like, okay, we'll look at it, but it's gonna take us weeks to figure it out, we've gotta count trees, we've gotta bring it to you, and it just stretches things out, and it's really, I know we're all talking with each other, at each other about this, but it's, like you said, we're all working as a team, there's an extra team, on the smallest things, and so
Right.
And-
it's really not us.
We're responsible for making sure that things are done the way they say they're going to be
Yes.
done, and then the whole town looks at us and says,
What's going on?
it wasn't done the way it said it was
Right,
supposed
what
to be
a jerk,
done,
yeah. Right.
why not? So we
Yeah.
need to, as
Back
board,
room, right.
do what we're responsible to do.
I hear that a lot, which is
Right.
why I have to stand on principle.
Can I say something?
Let me get John.
No, I agree, but
Okay.
to Alex's point, all I'm saying is like I'm shaking my head, yes. Like when I joined this body, it's almost a consistent comment to me about the past not doing, just doing things the way we want to, doing things because we have friends in town, doing things because, and it's just, I think we have an opportunity to move forward and live, this town's going through a tough time. I think we can move forward and work together and lift and all,
I think that's being,
support the
a
town.
lot of that's been covered by by the Bylaw Subcommittee taking
Yeah.
on tasks
Yeah.
that hasn't been taken on in a long
Oh, yeah.
time.
Right, yeah.
And
There's
yeah.
no fingers being pointed at
No,
you.
no,
I
no,
swear.
trust me.
Oh, no.
I
That's
got-
not-
I got
I'm not
bigger
pointing-
fish to fry at every source than I do here.
I'm not pointing fingers at anybody. I'm just
Yeah.
saying what people, I don't have any, I don't,
No, no,
I haven't
I
lived in
agree
this
with you
town all that
because
long.
there's other parts of this town that I have trouble with that has done things that just doesn't make sense to me. But right now, the only thing I'm focusing on is with this group.
Yeah,
and-
right.
And I think we've been better at doing that and holding people's feet to the fire than ever in the past.
Right.
So I'm not saying it's perfect, please
No,
don't get me wrong.
no.
Yeah.
And I know we care about, I've witnessed this tree conversation
This is way-
in my first 4 meetings. It does show though that we are
Yeah.
engaged
to
in
the
thinking,
issues.
right,
Yeah.
right.
But we care a lot about trees.
Yeah,
Yeah.
One quick thing.
yeah.
This is the only town that I deal with planning. on
I
any
know,
of these
I
issues.
know.
I got my plan approved in Holden.
And you deal with,
On August 18th, 2018, okay? And I've been to the planning board every 2 years, just to say hi and.
Say
they get-
George and
they
shake
get-
his
they
hands.
get- No, they have a bylaw that says you have to renew every 2 years, so I have to go back every 2 years. That's the only time I see them. That's the only time I see them.
But you would have to go to them with a minor modification or something because
If I have a minor, like this.
or a major something, you still gotta come to the
Like
planning.
right now, I'm asking, I'm finishing off a subdivision. I called the DPW, I talked to the engineer, and I said, what am I doing for trees?
Did you just say something that we don't have?
Much
Yeah,
bigger
no,
place.
you do, you have Kevin.
Yeah,
So,
but.
or you have a
Right.
DPW director. I mean, those are the guys that do the inspections, those are the guys that really hold my feet to the fire.
Yeah.
If it's not right, Kevin Quinn doesn't approve it, or neither does Chris, neither one of them. And those guys are always with sewer pipe, water pipe,
Yeah.
they inspect everything. Nothing gets by them. So the point is, that we're doing the right thing here,
With the modification.
asking for a modification, so that when they go out and inspect, they keep your wishes. That's really the way it is.
The modification should have been requested before installation or,
I don't
anything.
disagree with you, but.
Well, the letter was in,
You want me
it's
to go
just the
take
work
3
got
trees
done
out that I put in?
before we could-
6
Let's,
trees
let's,
out
let's
that
move
I
past
put in?
that. We got a motion,
So
we've got a second.
I just want to ask one thing. The letter that we got requests 2 changes. One is the trees and one is the elimination of the requirement for granite curb inlets.
They
Are we gonna,
They voted that at the last meeting.
Yeah,
oh, we did?
yeah, that was already taken care of. But the tree thing we couldn't get through because we hadn't,
Perfect. I just wanted to make sure we weren't missing part of it.
no granite
I
curbs
don't
can
like
take
talk
care
about
of.
curbs. I just
Yeah, trust
didn't
me.
want to skip something and have
So,
to do it again.
I'm gonna ask you,
Perfect.
I'm
Okay.
gonna do point of order
Yep,
and ask for a vote.
excellent.
I was just gonna say something, if the trees, if trees die within X amount of time.
Oh, thank you.
Because we don't have that language, even though we talked about if these trees die before the road.
It's
is
1 year,
Is it-
and I got a
yes.
10% on the 1 year,
Okay.
so if 1 year the trees dies, I'll be asking the developer to replace it as part of the condition of the road.
We need a year, we can handle a year for trees, just decide if it's going, if I wanna stay or leave, all right?
Yeah.
You only get a year's warranty on your house,
Right.
you buy it new, so I'm not gonna give you more warranty on a tree than a house, I guarantee
A
you.
lot of
that.
nurseries, yeah,
Yeah, I'm not
a
gonna
year,
ask-
3
I'm
years.
not gonna ask you to give a warranty on a tree,
Well,
I'm gonna
houses
give them
are
a
made
house.
of dead trees.
They
Yeah.
need to be alive when planted.
I'm gonna ask for a vote. Okay. Just, I'm gonna say yay.
Yay.
Yay. Aye.
Nay. 3-1.
Don't look at me.
You get to sit here and listen to us and keep comment, which I love. All right.
I have a new T-shirt that says,
Done.
I'm not arguing,
So,
I'm just explaining
How
why
does
I'm
that,
right.
how does that actually?
I don't know how the hell, I mean, in the past, I would have the planner do that. I don't have a planner, so,
You gotta write a letter
I need to
ourselves.
figure that out, which I'm gonna, here's the situation. Kevin has not got the approval, or something has happened with the paperwork. I haven't had a chance to talk to Heather about him getting his, consultant agreement approved.
Yeah.
When that happens, my intent is to ask Kevin to do this type of work for us during the day and charge us hours for it. And that's part of his 12 hours a week or whatever it is.
Well, the thing is, you know, we put in fee, we give you fees. I mean, if he's working on our subdivision, it comes out of us. If he's
Correct.
working- You know, so I mean, it shouldn't cost the town anything.
I get that, but I want to get it done. And I don't know who to get to do it because I can't do it. I don't have that skill
The
set.
point is, if it's in the meeting, if it's in the minutes, it's done.
But I need it written, recorded, and updated, so I need that document, I need that subdivision, condition modified.
Yeah.
And then where it's minor modification, typically we would, if I remember correct, and these are my Dave George days, he would go back in and put that minor modification into the conditions of that subdivision, so it's
You are
documented.
correct, that's what.
And I need Kevin to do that now, because I can't, I don't know where that document is actually.
Kevin
True.
will-
I'm not gonna kid anybody.
Kevin won't be able to do that, that would be a to me.
You may need a memorandum to just state what happened at the meeting that
Well,
codifies,
the
right?
vote in this is official records, to Cleve's point. But we need to get it actually in
Into the
that
stuff.
document. So, note to Tim.
By the way, did they put in, like, we already got, that's on Bryce Estates now, okay? I'm putting the curbing in
That's a modification, it's gotta be updated on that plan.
because, well, for, nothing behind the, catch me, no granite curb ins. So I'm gonna, I'll send you a letter for that, but I don't wanna keep the water in the street, I gotta put the curb in. So I'm gonna put the curb in.
Can you, please send a letter?
Bryce Lemon, you say?
Baseball.
Can you send a letter to, the planning board and for these two, for the granite curbs at Rutland Estates and the trees? and-
Bryce, you mean?
I'm
No, I
sorry.
already did.
Okay, I didn't see it. I didn't find it.
Well, you just voted on it, on Britain,
Yeah, that letter on Brittenell, I'm fine.
but you wanted for Bryce.
Yeah, just put per, our conversation and vote at, planning board meeting dated August 11th. There'll be 2 trees per lot, or 2 trees per lot existing, and future trees will be 2 trees per lot in right of way. That's good enough.
You want me to write the letter?
The planning board just saying that?
Confirming that for
Yep,
Brittenell?
yep.
That's for Brittenell.
Brittenell
And then I'm
Estates.
gonna ask for, on Bryce, I'm gonna ask for the same things on those, on that phase.
Okay.